Okay, so it's Brendan and Maddy here. Maddy, how are you doing?
Hiya.
We've just left the jungle and we're on our way to get some food, but we wanted to catch up and give some feedback as to what our first impressions were. Now, I've been to the jungle before. It was your first time though, Maddy. How did you find it?
It was, you read about it and you hear about it, but it's very different when you actually go. Like, you can't really control how you feel, and it's not the right kind of place where you can walk in and cry, but that's all you want to do.
Yeah.
So that was my first thing.
Okay. So what's happened? What we've done today?
So we drove in, and then the first thing was there's a volunteer there who walked us in and instantly gave us a cup of tea. Like, they're so friendly, I can't even explain. So they gave us a cup of tea and said hello, and you kind of, at first I was quite shocked because of where they're living. Like, they've got like carpets wrapped around the walls to try and keep it warm and stuff. And then before I'd even been there 5 minutes, he was like, "You're in the posh end," and it just takes your breath away to think that people have to live like that, and it doesn't make sense that that's a real situation.
Okay, so then what did we do?
And then we went and gave out some food bags and some like bathroom bags and stuff. And they've organised it amazingly. Like, they know like the work that goes behind these projects. I have so much respect for.
Thank you.
You've put in a lot of work, like things you don't think about. Like, you can't just bring over a load of tins. That's useless. It doesn't help. You can't bring over shoes. Like, you have to think about everything. And Brendan's been teaching me about the consequences of everything. And the work he's put in and the good it does is amazing.
Yeah.
But everything has to be organised properly, because you can't just pull up with a load of stuff.
Exactly.
And it'll cause more drama than it's worth.
So we turned up today and I made a mistake today. I was handing the food packages out to the guys, and by accident I handed out 2 food packages to refugees that were there. I wasn't supposed to hand it to those because we were handing it to our team to take to the refugees' kitchens, and by accident I gave food to refugees that weren't in our group, we weren't supposed to give to, and that caused a bit of a situation. It was only 2 bags, so it was quickly rectified, but the processes of how we have to do things are very complex. Everything has to be thought out quite detailed. So, Maddy, everybody's saying back in England that this refugee camp is full of men.
Yeah.
Did you find any women or children there?
The first place we walked into after we were given this cup of tea, the first food bags we gave out, there was children all over the place. There was women, there was kids sitting on the floor with like just playing with toys in the mud, just on the floor. And
what kind of toys did they have?
There was a little boy who had a fire truck, and he was giggling away and showing me his fire truck, and it takes your breath away. There was a little boy who was holding a plate and had obviously walked quite a long way to wash it, and dropped his plate on the way back into the mud, and they're the kind of things that break your heart. And there was women holding babies, and the kids, like Brendan says about giving things out and thinking about it, the kids will run up to you and they'll be tugging on the bags and being like, I have a baby, and they're tiny kids, and asking you this, and your heart is saying just give them to them, but if you think about it, that's worse, because then they get exploited and then they're told to go back and do it again. And
everything has consequences. Everything that we do has consequences.
Exactly.
If we give a bike to somebody without thinking, then that bike becomes a tool of power. It means that a man can go shopping. It means that a woman who doesn't have the bike can be desperate for the food that man can provide, and it leads to exploitation. So we have to think very carefully about everything that we do. And today was quite well organised. It was quite successful.
Yeah.
Really pleased what we did.
Here make a big difference, because they know who needs what and who's where.
Exactly.
So rather than just handing out a pile and the strongest people getting to the car first, they know where the kitchens are, where's giving out food, where do lots of people go, where is there like a mum and a child who can't run over and leave their tent. Like, they know, and that's the organisation behind it, and having the contacts in the camps that are living in the camps. That's why today was more successful than it would have been if.
So, last question really, just for this moment. You spoke to me originally last week.
Yeah.
And you said that you wanted to get some cars from the university and bring them down to the jungle and give out aid. How differently do you think? What do you think about that now? What do you think about the success of that now, or the potential?
I have a whole new perspective on it. I think it can do a lot of danger if you just go in without any knowledge of where you're going, what you're doing, who's there, because there's wastage. We walked past today. There's people that are hungry. They're desperate for food. They're cold,